All right, guys, so today we're repairing a French drain in this neighborhood that I do a lot of work in. A company came out and put, they say 6-inch non-perforated corrugated tube for the drain. And you can see how these two houses come down like a V for the water. But the problem is that there's a hump in the middle. So it goes down into the woods and then back up and then back down towards the sidewalk. But the problem is two things. They used solid tube when the issue is this is constantly wet. As you can see right here, it's constantly wet, right? Look how wet this is. So it's very wet. So they need perforated tube here, tube that will take water on, it'll just drip and take water. And a lot of people misunderstand these real French drains. People just think you need an inlet and an outlet. But the situation like this is when you have water sitting in the whole area and not just pools of water, you need a tube that has holes in it that can absorb water through the grass. So you technically don't even need these. But that leads me to my second problem, is that the low area is here, right in the middle. So what the installer did was they put the inlets way off to the side where the water is never gonna go. So there's an outlet down in the back, and we have 3 inlets. One there, one there, one here. And solid tube that runs uphill. This is the highest point right here. And then it runs downhill. So when you think about that, when you like this, you have to almost get water to run uphill to pop out down there. So what we're gonna do is we're going to raise this one up a little bit. You can see it's already a low spot in the lawn. So we brought some fill dirt and some sod. We're gonna raise it up. And then for this really wet area, we're gonna convert that to perforated tube. And then we're gonna tie in the neighbor's 2 downspouts as well. I'll kind of show you how I do that. But first thing you wanna do is we're gonna go ahead and replace this anyways, but it will make it a lot easier if you use a stick edger to cut your grass out. All right, guys, so I dug this thing up. It's hot out here, I'm sweating. It's 100 something degrees. Heat index of 116 or something. Same as the other day. It was like the 6th day in a row of 100 degrees, so working slow. Anyways, this is what I wanted to show you. So first of all, look how deep that tube is buried, okay? So if that's the highest point there, and your tube is buried this deep here, and the outlet is way down there, what you need to do is you need to have this part higher in the soil. Otherwise, water can't go uphill. So you can see the water. There's no perforations in this tube at all. So you can literally see the water just sitting there. So I can imagine every time it rains and it comes down this downspout here, it probably backflows and comes out right there. That's why you can see, they probably got a call and then they taped it. And you can even see dirt. They taped it. So we're gonna go ahead and finish taking from here to there, up and out, and then we're going to put some dirt back in, and then some stone, and then we're going to put a sock on the tube, the perforated tube, and put it back in, changing it from a rainbow to a downward slope, to get that water all the way out. You can see this one's taped too. I don't know if this is contractor stuff or not, but also what we like to do is we like to leave that elbow on, that 90-degree elbow. And we don't do that because we're lazy. We do it because inevitably you're gonna have problems with leaves getting into the system. And if you guys have ever cleaned your gutters out, you know that they get trapped in 2 places, on the corners, here on the elbows, and down there on the elbows. So if you leave an elbow there, you can actually clean it out. So we like to have it go in after that elbow. But I still got like 12 more feet to go. I'm gonna take a quick break, cool off a little bit, and then I'll be back to work. And here's the old 6-inch tube. And it doesn't even really, I don't know why they did 6-inch, because they just went to a 4-inch adapter into a 4-inch box. It doesn't make much sense. But yeah, I mean, look, water just starts pouring out of it right away. Well, it kind of already did, but the whole thing was just holding water. So we're gonna raise this up probably a good 7 to 10 inches and really push it back that way. Man, I'll tell you what, this heat is no joke, buddy. I mean, it's brutally hot. You know, usually when it's like mid 90s, you know, really high 80s, and the direct sun with no clouds, usually you get like a good, you know, if you're pushing and you're hydrated and everything, if you want to be safe and not a fool, you know, you got a good 2 hours in you before you have to really, you know, think about taking a break. But a couple more degrees, man, I tell you what, you get 15, maybe 20 minutes, and then you better start thinking about taking a break, especially when you're digging and lifting things and moving wheelbarrows. You only get about 15, 20, 25 minutes before you really should start thinking about taking a quick break. And the problem is that your breaks are always crappy because you need more than 5 minutes to really cool your body down. But then if you take more than 5 minutes, you just want to sit and go home. So anyways, just another message. I know I posted a video the other day, but guys, if you got employees, man, just be prepared. You're not going to be making bank. You're not going to be pushing quite as hard as you're used to, man, because you got to give these guys breaks. I couldn't imagine having employees right now, and I would be so frustrated because I'd be like, man, I'm just paying these guys to take breaks all day, but you got to do what you got to do, all right? I'm going to run in here and grab me a slush puppy to cool off, and then back to the French drain. All right, so I'm learning something too, and I've dug up French drains in the past before. So, and I've never seen this before, but what I'm seeing right now is, you know, the little aggregate stuff that's on shingles from roofs? That's what all this is right here. That's all shingle grit. And that's another reason why I like to keep this 90 degree on here, and it allows you to put some type of filter. That'll slow that stuff down. And also that he has settling here. So also using non-corrugated PVC would work really well, but and lots of tape. Never seen so much tape on a French drain before. I just can't get over how they taped that. That just looks horrible. But anyways, look at all the tape. All right, now that we have the old 6-inch tube ripped out, solid tube, we put in 4-inch perforated, we put a sock around it, we put stone around it, we put mesh around it. Now you can see that instead of this box sitting in the deepest area, we have it lifted up. So that now this is the highest part of the set of the drain. And it rained earlier, which was great because it cooled everything down. So now all the water we have seen now that the water actually moves downstream. So now what we have to do is take some soil and build that thing up. If I designed this thing, I probably wouldn't have put a catch basin there because my goal would be just to move the water out to the street. But this is just a repair, and that's how it's gonna be. Pretty much everything's done, except for I just have to tie in the last downspout, which will be pretty quick. But I know it looks really bad on camera, but they created a big dent here when they put the original one in. So that's about the same height as that, and that's no longer a catch basin. This is now a clean out. And they made a huge trench here, so I filled this up with sod. So I just gotta do this last one.